So we're going with artsy look today. You know why? Because I got Puma pants on my lap and I can't get up and flip the lights on. So this is fine. It is not about what I look like, is it? So anyway, my in my Chime app on my phone, it continuously sends quotes from famous people. I don't know why it does that. Seems to be kind of distracting, but sometimes a really cool quote will come up, like by Mark Twain. But I just got one from, oh, those are trash trucks out in front. I just got one from uh, Carl Sagan, and it flashed by for a moment and then it disappeared. And I've seen it many times on this app, and it says, I'll paraphrase best I can. It says, "For small creatures such as we, the vastness is only bearable through love." That's pretty much it. For small creatures such as we, the vastness is only bearable through love. And it's interesting that I saw that quote because I was going to hearken back to yesterday's quote from another well-known atheist, John Paul Sartre, who said, "No finite point has meaning without an infinite reference point." So what's the topic for today? Well, let's consider the logical inversion of what Sartre said. If no finite point has meaning without an infinite reference point, as he claims, then the opposite would also be true, which is that with an infinite reference point, everything, all finite points, would have meaning. Do you get it? With an infinite reference point, all finite points that extend from it would have meaning. What are the implications of this? We're not small little lost creatures in a vastness of meaninglessness, as Carl Sagan says. In other words, are little sparks of self-generated love that mean so much to us, that are the only thing that help us survive this lonely, vast emptiness that we live in, is actually not true. It's actually as wise and as brilliant as Carl Sagan, billions and billions of years ago, when he said billions and billions of years ago, that in all that intellectual insight, it can still be possible to be more wrong than you could possibly be. In other words, the conclusion that we are small sparks of organic creatures who can love in the midst of an infinite, meaningless, vast blankness, that might be as wrong as you can be. Now, certainly one could adopt that point of view. Many do. I've really got to take my hat off. Not that I wear a hat, but I tip my hat to the mentality and the psyche who can say that we do live, underneath all of it is just a vast blank meaninglessness. Hats off if you can live in that world. I can't. And I know, I think there's a vast, swelling, large, perhaps silent majority of people who really feel the same way, that deep down in their heart, they do believe in an infinite reference point. Now, when we begin to tilt our souls in the direction of an infinite reference point, every finite point begins to have meaning itself, which means everywhere you look, there is meaning. Everywhere you look, meaning swells everywhere. It swells inside of our own experience. And it also gives us this wonderful defense against when meaning leaves in one place, we can find it in another place. How valuable is that? Well, in the material world, things are always changing. The things that we love that give us meaning, they do come and go. And what does that lead to? Grief and sorrow and intense loss. But if we begin to temper and to regulate, to moderate, and to bring intelligence to our perception, and we begin to tap in to the infinite reference point, then we begin to realize that the meaning of any finite point is replaceable instantaneously by meaning in all the points. And that's my point. I don't know if I make any sense. I hope I do. I'm speaking right to the infinite reference point inside of you and me. And if you're one of those people that hungers and thirsts for that infinite reference point, it's available. Have a beautiful day. We'll talk tomorrow.